Howdy-ho, Andrew here. Welcome to the Onion Buns and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Oilers. So before I get to the game, I wrote some stuff down on the pre-game that caught my attention, and I'm going to go over that. But I want you to understand, I wrote this down before the game. So these were my thoughts before the game. All right, so what I wrote down is, and the stupidity of Knoblauch continues. Last year he refused to give Skinner a chance despite it being obvious he was needed in our top six. Knoblauch refused. And here we go again. Our best young forward has been Noah Phillip. He has. He's been our best young forward this season for 2 games so far. You know, he had the unfortunate bounce, but that's neither here nor there. That's happened multiple years to multiple players, to experienced players, everything. So God, it happens. You move past. Last game, he was our best center, period. Young world, he was our best center. So our 2 best forwards have been Phillip and Tomasek. Young forwards, I mean. Our best 2 defensemen have been Nurse and Regula. Our worst rookies have been Howard and Savoy. And again, it's got nothing to do with arguing. It is what it is. It's the truth. So, of course, Knoblauch has put Phillip and Regula in the box, in the press box. Now, apparently Regula is banged up from the hit he took from Nurse. So, okay, I'll give him that one. If Regula's not ready to go, you got to sit him and let him till he's ready to go. Okay, so that's fine. We'll move on from that one. But Phillip, he should not be scratched for this game. In my opinion, Knoblauch should have picked Savoy or Howard. One of the 2 should have been up in the press box watching. And Phillip should have been down playing. But unfortunately, Howard and Savoy have been gifted their spots. They haven't earned them. Like, they had a decent preseason, but ever since the regular season started, they've not been strong. They've been mostly invisible. So, for the first 2 games, okay, fine, you put them in because we didn't have somebody to take their spot. But once we brought in Rosevich, somebody had to come out of the lineup. And for my money, it should have been either Savoy or Howard. Should not have been Noah Phillip. No way in hell. Even the insiders out there, the Elliots and all of them, were going, why is he sitting out? I don't understand this. I can only chalk it up to favoritism, because we've seen this with Knoblauch before. Last year was Skinner. We knew we needed Skinner in the top 6, but Knoblauch would not give him a chance. No way, no how, not happening. Would not give him a chance. And he put in Arvidsson, who was a train wreck all season long. And even Arvidsson admits he was a train wreck all season long. I heard an interview with him the other day, and they asked him about his time in Edmonton. He said, I don't know what happened, but it wasn't working. It didn't work all season long. It just wasn't clicking. It wasn't working. I wasn't a good fit there. So Arvidsson can admit it, but Knoblauch refused. So, you've heard me say I think Knoblauch's a pretty good coach. This is his one Achilles heel. He plays favorites, and he will not admit when he's wrong. And so I really disagree with Phil sitting out. As I said, with Regula, if he was healthy, I'd really disagree as well, but he's banged up from the hit from Kane. It was a clean hit. There was nothing dirty about that hit. It was a big hit. And Regula had his head down, and he got steamrolled. Maybe he'll learn to keep his head up moving forward. I hope so. He's too good of a player to get injured, but if he keeps his head down, he will get injured in this league. But so he's sitting out for that. That's understandable, but Phillip should never have been sitting out. It should have been Howard or Savoy, one of the 2. So here we go again. Our best young forwards have been Phillip and Tomasek this season so far, bar none. They've been great. Our best 2 defensemen have been Nurse and Regula. Again, no debate. They've been our 2 best defensemen. So, of course, Knoblauch has put Phillip and Regula in the press box. And Howard and Savoy gifted their spots. It's bullshit. It's pure bullshit. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's favoritism, and I have absolutely no patience for favoritism. These are professional hockey players. They are paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to play a game. they should have to earn their spots. Nothing should be gifted. Nothing should be handed to anyone. You go out there and you play and you earn your spot. This is a business. So, yeah, I'm not happy about Philip sitting out. To me, it reeks of backroom politics where production and determination doesn't matter. And in my mind, that is the absolute wrong way to approach a professional hockey team. It really is. And to top it off, Fredericks has moved off of Leon and McDavid's line. Now, I liked Fredericks on their line because he was a strong net front presence. Like I mentioned before, with Hyman, you would notice Zach moving off to the side. He wouldn't be that net front. He'd be off to the side looking for the tap-in. And he's very good at it, so I'm not bad-mouthing Hyman. He's very good at it. It works for him. All the power to him. But Frederick was more of a Ryan Smith type of net front presence where he's in the way of the goalie. And I do feel this is something the Oilers have been missing for quite a while. So I really love how Tomasek and Fredericks play the game. But they moved Fredericks off of that line, put Majapani up there, which I think Majapani should have been on the second line. But here we go with the gifting again. They put Majapani up on the first line so they could give Savoy the second line spot. Savoy hasn't earned a second line spot. He really hasn't. They moved Fredericks down to the third line, and they put Philip up into the press box. Okay, I don't get it. It's like, if Philip can't, if what he's done in these two games is not enough to earn him a spot on the team, I don't know whatever will be. And Knobloch made some horrible, cheesy, he doesn't play on the penalty kill or the power play, so I had to keep players that play in the... Savoy shouldn't be on the penalty kill. That should be where Philip is already. So that excuse holds absolutely no water to me because Savoy should have never been on the penalty kill. You want penalty killers that are physical, block shots, can grind. That's Noah Phillip. Savoy can't do any of that. The best Savoy can do is clear the puck once in a while, and to his credit, he's done that on the penalty kill, but it's anybody can do what he's done. The other things you want from your penalty killers, he doesn't bring. So, yeah, I'm not really trying to rag on Savoy and Howard, though it will sound like I am on this episode, but I'm really not. I just want them to earn their spots. And in my mind, they have not done that in this regular season. I've seen no indication of them earning an NHL spot thus far in 3 games. None. So anyway, so win or lose going into this game, I thought these moves absolutely sucked. Plain and simple. I didn't care if we won or we lost. These were not good roster moves. We need to start rewarding production. Simple as that. This is supposed to be a business. This is not supposed to be some sort of love affair where, your best buddy gets a spot. And this is something I've said for a long time about the Oilers, because I felt the Oilers are guilty of this for quite a while, long before Knobloch even. This is more of a culture of the Oilers, is they like to gift spots to Yamamoto, to Yakupov, to the German guy that was buddies with Leon, to the other player that was buddies with McDavid. Being their buddies should not get them a top 6 spot. Production, effort, completion, these are things that should get them a top 6 spot. And if they're not doing it, they should be out. And thus far, Savoy and Howard have not been doing it since the regular season started. So anyway, that's kind of my rant to start off the day, but I was not a fan of these choices Knobloch made. So let's go to period 1. First shift, Sketcher is a shin pad warrior and creates the Rangers' first good rush on the Oilers. Skinner makes a strong save on the first shot of the game. So you've heard me rant about this from other players. It's like, stop shooting into people's shin pads, especially when you don't. There's times where you may have to do that. This was not one of them. He had lots of choices, and he went straight into the shin pads. It bounced out past him, and the Rangers got almost a breakaway. Skinner came up huge. Stop doing that. So this is a milestone, actually. At 16:14 of the first period, we actually got Evan Bouchard's first slap shot directed at the opposing net of the season. He went 129 minutes not doing a slap shot at the opposing net. Now, he missed the net with this shot, but at least it was at the net. Like, this guy is supposed to have one of the hardest shots in the league, and he went almost 130 minutes without a slap shot. I don't get it. I don't see how you do that. I don't see how you get rewarded for doing that. You know, especially if you watch some of Sheldon Surrey, Zendo Chara, Al McInnes, Shea Weber, on and on and on. These guys, when they needed to make room, they wound up their big shot and they shot at head level. And they made opponents dive out of the way, and that created space for the forwards. This is what Bouchard should be doing. I've been saying this for a while, but he won't. And this year, he doesn't even want to use a slap shot, it seems. Drives me insane. It really does. Like, you got $10.5 million. One of the reasons you got $10.5 million is your slap shot. So why aren't you using it? Like, it'd be one thing if they came on and said, well, he's injured or something, so he doesn't have the strength. Okay, fine, I'd understand that. But that's not the case. He's just choosing not to do it. Everything this year has been wrist and snapshots. He's reminding me of Justin Schultz when Justin Schultz was an Oiler and couldn't get a frickin' puck through either. Like, come on. Play to your strength. So early on in the game, even though the Rangers only had 5 shots, it easily could have been 3-0 for the Rangers. Skinner made 5 excellent saves. The Oilers did not get their first shot on net in the first period until 6.5 minutes into the first. No shots on net in the first 6.5 minutes. You look at the lineup, especially since everybody from Stauffer to Gregor to speed, skill, offense. How do you go 6.5 minutes without a shot on net if you're doing offense, and bragging about the speed of your players? Like, one doesn't equal the other. You know, there's something wrong there. So, but you all know what I think of the offense. I don't think we can win with it when it come the playoffs. The regular season, it might work, but come the playoffs, I don't think we can win with it, because you need defense, you need grit, you need physicality in the playoffs. That's how Florida beat us again last Stanley Cup. That's how Calgary beat us 2 games ago. They couldn't match our skills, so they just ground us and played physical in the second and third and overtook the game and won. So yeah, I like Frederic, but 10 minutes into the first, I'm not seeing how he replaces Phillip on the first or on the third line. That's not a slight at Fredericks. I do like Trent Fredericks. I like him a lot. But I think Phillip has more chemistry with Kapanen and Podkolzin than Fredericks does. Even though Fredericks does score in this game, I still think Phillip has more chemistry with those two players. I said it last game, I'll say it again. I really do believe that Phillip, Kapanen, and Podkolzin should be our established third line, and they should get 30 games uninterrupted to build their chemistry and develop. Like, sitting Phillip out only hurts Phillip and hurts the team. So, Bouchard does his patent turnover to the Oilers slot. So he got the puck behind the net, took a step out and shot directly in front of the net on a soft pass. It got picked off, and the Rangers got a glorious triple A scoring chance that Skinner thankfully bailed Bouchard out. But we've seen this exact play over the years from Bouchard, and it usually ends up in our net. And here he's going. He's doing it again. He hasn't learned a damn thing over 5 years. He's still making the same mental mistakes. You want to know why I scream about him so much? This play is why. He shouldn't be making this play ever. You don't do a soft pass in front of your own net. You don't. Thank God for Skinner in this game. Seriously, it would have been, by the end of the first, it would have been 3-0 for the Rangers if not for Stuart Skinner. Like, he only faced 5 shots according to the shot clock, which I find very suspect because I really don't know how they figure the Oilers outshot the Rangers in that first period. But according to the shot clock, he faced 5 shots, but it easily could have been 3-0 for the Rangers against any goalie in the league. Like, that's how good these goal chances the Rangers were getting were. So Skinner was standing on his head. He was freaking phenomenal in this game. So yeah, that was the end of the first. Somehow Oilers outshot Rangers 8-5, but the Rangers with the best chances of the period. Second period. Savoy just tried to stick handle through 3 Ranger defenders. This isn't juniors. You're not the junior star anymore. This is the NHL. You are not Connor McDavid. You are not Leon Draisaitl. You are not McKinnon. You don't have the skill to stick handle through 3 opponents. Simple as that. Savoy had other options. He tried to be fancy, and he got knocked on his ass for it. And then the Rangers went down and had another scoring chance because he was on his ass and out of the play. It was a stupid, stupid, stupid attempt by Savoy. But what it tells me is Savoy knows he's not producing and he's not impressing. And that's all that was about, is he was trying to impress. But it's more impressive to make the right play than to get exploited on a bad play. And this just tells me that Savoy is probably not ready for the NHL yet. If he still thinks making this flashy play somehow earns him points. Then we got Bouchard was easily beat at the blue line for the 3rd game in a row. Like he just stands there and they put it through his legs. We've seen it 3 games in a row. They put it through his legs, they skate around him, and they would come down. McDavid busted his ass to get back as soon as that happened, and McDavid broke up the play in our zone, thankfully, so there was no instant shot on net, but all this could have been stopped if Bouchard just played defense. You know, he could have hit the guy, he could have knocked the puck away, but he just stood there like a pylon. And again, we've seen this 3 games in a row now. I think part of the problem is the playbook is out on Evan Bouchard. Teams know what to do against him now. And again, 3 games in a row, we've seen players, 3 different teams, all do this same maneuver on him. So hopefully the coaches will start talking to Bouchard and maybe pull him aside and do some teaching, because eventually that's going to cost us. Then the puck went into the corner, came out, and another huge save by Skinner. Skinner's been very good despite facing less than 10 shots so far at the halfway mark of the game. Then it was a nice job by Emerson to break up a sure breakaway. Had he failed, he busted his ass back, and if he had missed breaking this up, this Ranger player was in a clear-cut breakaway. But Emerson got back and he played it right and he broke it up, and yeah, it was great play by him. We don't hear a lot about Emerson, so I'm bringing it up because, you don't hear a lot about him. So when he does something good like this, it is on us to mention it and praise him for it. It's not always about talking about Leon and Connor. The lower end of the team, when they do stuff right, we need to reward them for that too. And then Skinner does yet another huge save after that. I really can't praise Skinner enough. He was hot tonight. He was on his game, and the only reason we won this game is because of Stuart Skinner. Make no mistake about it. Then Frederick scores at 9:38 of the second. Frederick from Kapanen. It was a nice goal. Kapanen put the puck up. Frederick busted his ass, went down the middle, little deke through the 5-hole, and boom. Nice play, nice goal, everything. So, big props. And that's all we needed to win the game, was that one goal. Then Stetcher gets really lazy and steals a Rangers stick right out of their hand, right in front of the referee. I really don't get this play. It was obvious. Rangers get the first power play of the game. It was a stupid, lazy, selfish penalty by Troy Stetcher. There's no other way to call it. He fell down and he just reached up and he grabbed that stick and he hung on right in front of the referee. It was dumb. He didn't even argue the penalty. He knew it. Huge save by Skinner on Miller in the slot. This was a 5-bell save. Big save. And Miller is a bona fide goal scorer, so even more impressive. Then Leon took a high sticking penalty that gave the Rangers a 5-on-3 for 12 seconds. You got to be lucky to be good. Rangers got one past Skinner, but they couldn't beat the crossbar. So Skinner lucked out with the crossbar, but he had been so good this game. He deserved a lucky break because he had stopped so many high percentage chances that he deserved a lucky break. And even that, I think he got a piece of it, and it bounced off him, hit the crossbar, and went away. So he even got a piece of it. Then Knobloch removed Leon from Connor McDavid's line, but he moved Leon to center Kapanen and Podkolzin. Didn't Frederic just score with that line? Like, Savoy has done nothing with RNH and Rosevich. So why is Knobloch putting Leon between Kapanen and Podkolzin? It makes no sense to me. Here we go again. Keeps punishing third line centers for scoring. I mean, Philip scored last game. He's sitting in the press box. Frederic scores this game. Leon replaces him on the third line. Yeah, I was screaming at the TV, like literally screaming at the TV. And that was the end of the second period. Shots on goal, 11-17 for the Rangers. The Oilers only got 3 shots on net in the entire second period. That's not good enough. Not even remotely. Third period, Knobloch must have heard me screaming at him through the TV, through osmosis or something. Because Leon came out at the start of the third period, centering Rosevich and RNH, exactly what I had said in the second period. Savoy was off the second line. And Savoy should have been off the second line. He has done nothing. Again, I'm not trying to be mean on Savoy, but can we please make this about production? Not who you want to see there, but who deserves to be there. Savoy does not deserve to be in the top 6 with the way he's played since the regular season started. Like, I would argue he doesn't even deserve to be in the NHL the way he's played. Him and Howard have played. But yeah, so Leon is centering Rosevich and RNH, and they had some moments. They didn't score anything, but they had some moments. Skinner comes up huge early in the third. They peppered Skinner in the third. Like, it was 17 shots for the Rangers at the end of the second, and it was 30 shots for the Rangers at the end of the third. So he got 13 shots, and I would say 10 of those shots were very high-grade shots. Then we see Howard doing his Savoy impression because he came down and he tried to be super fancy, pure midget, junior B, junior A type move. That doesn't work in the NHL. It doesn't. Like, Savoy and Howard have to figure this out. You guys may have been stars in the juniors. You are not stars in the NHL. So you need to figure out how to be impactful, because these zippity-doo, flippity-flop plays that you love so much in juniors and that, they don't work in the NHL. Go ask what's his name that used to be in Anaheim that loved to do the lacrosse goal scoring thing. Like, after about 2 months, everyone figured it out and he stopped scoring because those cutesy little plays don't work very often. You're not going to beat established NHL defensemen with cutesy little plays. So yeah, Howard tried that. New York got a third power play of the night. Kulak for high sticking. This for our PK had been mostly solid, but Kulak is an important point of that. So this could be problematic. Nurse and Ekholm will have to work triple time. Could definitely use Lazar or Phillip in this instance, but neither of them are in the game, so can't use them. PK ended. We killed the penalty, but Skinner faced 6 super high quality scoring chances, and he stood tall. Again, the only reason we won this game was Stuart Skinner. Make no mistake about it. We won this game. This easily could have been 5-6 goals against on a normal night. And not a normal night for Skinner, a normal night for any goalie. That's how good the Rangers' scoring chances were. Skinner was he was in the zone and he just closed the door on him. Then Henrique from McDavid and Mangiapane got an empty net. 2-0 for the Oilers, 1 minute left to play. Oilers win 2-0. Shots on goal, 30-22 for the Rangers. It was a sloppy game overall. It really was. The ice was bad. The puck was bouncing. A number of our players really did not have good games. I don't care what they say. I don't care how they try to sugarcoat it. You know, we had a number of passengers on our team tonight. But Skinner gets the shutout, and Skinner is why we won this game. That should shut the toxic haters up for a day. Probably won't. So my 3 stars, the Sportsnet and Ched and everyone loves to give out their 3 stars. I'm going to start giving out my 3 stars and my 3 GOATs. And I don't mean greatest of all time. I mean GOATs. guys that did not perform well. So my 3 stars are obviously number 1, Stu Skinner. He's why we won. Number 2, Darnell Nurse. He was a beast out there on the penalty kill. And he actually carried the play quite a bit. Like, the one thing I noticed with Darnell, he doesn't need to play with McDavid and Leon. He does good with them, but he doesn't need it. He finds a way to work with whatever line he's on the ice with. He's not reliant on them to drive the offense. So, like, he's good off, and I've said this before, he is an elite two-way player if you allow him to play a two-way game. You know, for last 3 years, Stauffer has been rambling on, he's got to play a shutdown defense. That's never been his game. So why are we asking him to be that? Darnell Nurse is an elite two-way defenseman, and we saw that in this game. He was great on the penalty kill. He was great on the offense. He was physical. He blocked shots. He did everything you could ask of him. So he's my number 2. And number 3 has to go to Trent Frederick because he scored the first goal, and that's really all we needed to win the game. So Trent gets the number 3 star. The disappointments of the game? Well, I've named them already. Savoie, Howard, and Bouchard. Savoie and Howard, they don't look like NHL players out there to me. They really don't. And Bouchard, we've seen no growth in his game. We've seen a growth in his salary, but we haven't seen a growth in his game. He's still making the same old boneheaded defensive plays that he's been making for 5 years now. At some point, that's got to end. You know, he's got to be held accountable for this. We need these players held to account when they make these mistakes. It's that simple. My final thoughts are, I really hope to see Philip back in net in the next game. Or not back in net, but I really hope to see Philip back in the next game, and Regula if he's healthy. You know, with I don't think he has a concussion. I think this was just a preventive, so I hope to see him next game. But if he's not ready to go, then sit him out again, because it's better he gets healthy than it is to risk his health putting him in too soon. Also, like to see Lazar in, but it's pretty clear Knobloch is not going to sit Savoie or Howard, no matter how invisible they are. Getting spots through favoritism rather than earning their spots really does suck. And it does. You know, like I wish Savoie and Howard were wowing me. Make no mistake about it. I really do wish they were wowing me. I was coming on here and I was going, did you see these play? Wow, they're amazing. Hey, we're going to have to pay them $10 million the way they're playing. Like, that's honestly what I want to be saying about them. But I'm not going to lie about it. They have not been at an NHL level. They had a decent preseason. I'll grant them that. But the preseason's down here. Once the regular season hit, the regular season's here. And they have not been able to get up to here. You know, and it's only 3 games in, I understand that. But we have players sitting out now that have been able to get up to here. So I really think, because neither Savoie nor Regula have to, or not Regula, Howard have to clear waivers, I really think they should be going down to the farm next and working on their game until they are at a level that they can play up here or higher. You know, being invisible on the NHL team is doing them no good, in my opinion. It's really not. Because it's just, eventually it's just going to undermine their confidence. Getting down onto the farm, playing 22 minutes a game, playing on the power play, playing on the penalty kill, working on what they're deficient in, improving their game, that's going to get them ready for the NHL. You know, and maybe that's later this year, maybe that's next year. Whichever, whenever they're ready, they grow at their own speed. So when they're ready, we bring them up. But this granting them power play and penalty kill and spots in the lineup when they're not producing and they're really not engaged, I think it's ridiculous, honestly. I really do. And yeah, I won't be supporting that. Like, if their play gets to the point where they are productive and they are helpful and they're ready to play this game, great. All the power to them. I will cheer them on. But until then, let's send them to the farm. Anyway, that's my video for today. If you like this video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a share. I'm trying to grow my channel, and a like, a subscribe, and a share does me wonders, and I do appreciate it. Takes 1 second to subscribe, costs you absolutely nothing, helps me immensely. Just hit the subscribe button on the bottom of the screen. always feel free to leave a comment. I encourage everybody to leave a comment. Not only does it get us interacting, but it really does help me with the YouTube algorithm and getting more eyes on my videos. And as always, pew, 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 and shit. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.